Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve, and in this video we're going to take a look at the NewBeeDrone Hummingbird Race Spec version 2. Now I'm holding the race whoop against a white background just so you can see it because it is black in color, and I am wearing a black t-shirt and it's probably gonna disappear. Few things to tell you. I did review version 1 of this last year, and I'm gonna put it up in one of these corners. You'll see my review. Go check it out. It tells you everything you need to know about this little guy in that video. So what's new in version 2? First off, the VTX, the video transmitter. It used to be 25 milliwatts. Now it's all the way up to 400 milliwatts, and it's a smart 400 milliwatts. In other words, if the VTX gets warm from sitting and not moving, it reduces itself to 25. As soon as you start flying and it gets cool, it goes back up to 400. Another really good thing is the previous version had ELRS SPI. ELRS SPI is okay, but this one here actually has a full ELRS non-SPI. Another improvement for people racing and trying to go through gates. Well, the camera's been upgraded. It used to be 600 TVL, now it's 800 TVL. And finally, the ESC's been upgraded to a dual end channel, 18 amp ESC. And as far as I can tell, everything else is pretty much the same as last year's version. Now, a few obvious things to mention is the camera in here is analog, but it's a pretty good analog camera, so I flew this with my Fat Shark goggles, and all the video that you're going to see in this video of the flight is all recorded in the Fat Shark goggles. In addition, as mentioned, there is an ELRS receiver in here, so I use my Radio Master Pocket ELRS to control this. Now, I just want to say up front, Captain Drone, am not a guy who races tiny whoops. I used to race tiny whoops in the past. This was my Blade Inductrix, and this is what I raced. This was one of the first tiny whoops on the market that was really good, and it wasn't bad. It goes very slow. It's kind of useless today. But this is my speed for racing tiny whoops, not this. This is like having a 5-inch drone down into like a tiny little whoop. It goes really fast. And because it's race spec, it does have the Beta FPV CAC firmware, and you can modify it, adjust it. And finally, it is a 1S whoop, as all race whoops are, especially in the race spec era. Well, it runs on a 300 milliamp hour 1S LiPo battery. None came with mine. You can buy them off the NewBeeDrone site. It does have an A30 battery connector. So if you have any A30 batteries lying around like I did, I have 3 branded batteries here. I used all of them for my flights. And for all of you that are into tiny whoop racing and you want to see the full specs on this thing, I'm putting them on the screen right now. Those are the full specs. Pause the video and check them out. So as I mentioned, I pretty much have no skills to race this on a course. Now, if you're not familiar, tiny whoops, there's all sorts of courses in your cities, and they're usually held at bars, clubs, or warehouses. Someone sets up a course, you just join, you pay your entry fee, you go race, and you win a prize. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good social event. If you're not familiar with it, just check around your local area, and I'm sure you'll find some. For me, Captain Drone, I've been invited to many in my area, but I suck at tiny whoops in racing, and it's not a pretty sight. I'm like a tiny whoop racer who's driving with his right-hand blinker, signal light going for the entire course. I'm like an old man flying these things, so I'm no good at it, and you're going to see it in this video. So what I want to show you is me flying this around my house. I could not fly it around indoors in acro or air mode like you're supposed to. I could only fly it in angle mode. I don't have the skills to go acro air. My house is very small. I'll smash into the walls. My wife will get upset. So then later I took it for an acro air mode flight outdoors. This thing really boogies. Anyways, I'll show you all that plus the unboxing. So watch that, then come back to me. Quick indoor flight of the Race Spec V2. Now, I've already taken this around my house. I tried it really quick, and it's very hard to fly indoors. So if you have a big indoor area in your house where you don't have to turn too often, you could definitely fly this indoors. If you're like me with a very small area, narrow passageways, got to go around corners really fast. I'm going to fly in angle mode, and it's pretty difficult because it's got a lot of power, but here we go. Now, the video I'm going to show you of my flight coming out of this tiny little camera here is all recorded in my Fat Shark goggles, and it's recorded in analog, so it's pretty low quality. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the camera is set at a fixed angle, almost looking up. It's designed to race really fast, so that makes it a little bit more difficult to fly indoors in angle mode, but we'll give it a shot. All right, I'll get out of the way, and here we go. Try not to crash. It's very powerful. There we go. See, I had to get by me. Now, as soon as I get it going in a forward motion, there we are, then we should be okay. So you see how fast it is? That's me going slow. So this thing is definitely not designed for people like me who fly, you know, quite cautiously indoors so I don't damage my walls. It's more designed for people that have an indoor racetrack. But anyways, I'm showing you flying it indoors here. The more I fly, well, the better I would get at doing this. But you know what? Flying and talking is a talent. And I'm usually pretty good at flying and talking. Most people aren't. You try to talk to them and they're like, don't talk to me, I'm flying. But I'm pretty good at it, except I will say this is taking a lot of my concentration not to crash this beast. So anyways, here we go. So my plan is basically, I don't want to bore you with showing you my indoor flight here. I can't even go through the gates because it's going to go too fast. And I'm in angle mode, so my plan is to actually just fly it outdoors quickly and then come back in the house if that's even possible. But this is it here. Oh, I crashed. Oh, let's go up here. Don't crash into the big TV. My wife would get upset. And we're going to come back to me. The slower you fly, the less you'll get the low battery signal. I'm going to go land on the table here though. Right over here. There we go. So the next thing to do is I'll open my patio door and I'll take it for a spin outdoors, fly around and come back. All right, so let's open the patio door and the screen. I've crashed into that before. You can see the drone in this camera. I'm going to put it down over here.
Telemetry recovered.
All right, here we go. Take off. Miss me nicely. Take it easy. Come around. Well, I can feel the breeze from outside. It's so nice. I'm going to stay. Trying to keep forward momentum going here. Geez, I'm having problems saying momentum. But there we go. I'll fly right past me, nice and slow. And right out this nice big door. And there we are. Outdoors. Whoa, everything looks dark. I can't see where I'm going. How come it's so dark? My image is dark. Oh, it's because it's staring at the sky. So yes, it adjusts for the brightest thing in the image, which is the sky. I'm amazed I'm not crashing into everything here. So in my goggles, it's pretty, well, I am crashing into everything. It's pretty dark. I'm coming back in. I don't know, where am I? I'm in now. Whoa, almost hit the lights. And we're gonna go land it on the table. All right, guys, so I'm gonna tell you, the camera on here adjusts for the brightest object it sees, and the sky is the brightest. The ground is not bright because it's very dull out today. So basically that's all I could see was the sky. Now, just in case you're wondering, can this fly outside? Well, it's kind of windy right now, so it's going to get blowed around, but I'm going to fly it in acro mode out here, except as I've mentioned indoors, this tiny little camera is pointing up, big time up, and it's looking at the sky. So it means in acro mode, I got to fly it like this, so it looks more at the ground, or else it's going to be just, I won't be able to see anything. The sky's so bright that the ground is going to be so dark. So you'll see when we fly. Here we go. All right, so I'll put this over here, right about there. I don't know if you can see it. It's windy out here. Look at the tree behind me. It's just blasting in the wind. So yeah, and I can hear it just a howling. Oh well, we'll see how it goes. So already I've just looked at my goggles and all I see is the sky. Everything else is black. Oh my God, it's black, 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 but the sky looks great. All right, flying in acro mode, here we go. So watch, I'm gonna tilt the nose down to the ground. It's not so contrasty now. Now I can see where I'm going. But when I tilt the camera up like this, I see the sky and I don't see the ground anymore. Whoa, it is very fast. Like, look at it, it's a race spec quad. It's super quick. And yeah, everybody wants to know, does it flip and do rolls? Yes, it does. I gotta stay away from those trees. A blast to fly. I'm sure on a sunny day, it would be a lot more fun to fly, but right now it's not very nice out, but it is very fast. It's a fast quad for sure. All right, let's bring it back. I can't even see me. Oh, I'm just gonna go over to my garage door there. Oh, I see me now. Someplace over here. There we go. Hey, not bad. So that was the outdoor flight in acro mode on a very dull, overcast day. I would suggest if you're going to fly this in acro mode outdoors, make sure there's no wind, which there's wind right now. Make sure it's sunny, which it's not right now. It's overcast. And on those little 300 milliamp hour LiPo batteries, you don't get a long flight time in acro mode outdoors, that's for sure. Here we have the box the Humminbird Race Spec arrives in. On the side of the box, there's an indication of the model I used in this review video. The Race Spec V2 arrives fully assembled and ready to fly. Just insert your 1S battery. To configure the drone in Betaflight Configurator, you will need to use the included USB-C connector. This connector has 4 pins, and those 4 pins fit in only one spot on the flight controller, as you can see here. Now you can plug in a USB-C cable and connect the drone to Betaflight Configurator. Oh, and don't worry about damaging the frame in a crash because it is super flexible. Other items in the box include spare props and a prop removal tool, spare screws and a spare camera canopy, and finally an ELRS quick start guide. Total weight of the quad is only 16 grams, and when you add a 300 mAh LiPo battery, it's only 25 grams. Alright, so now you're back to me and you want to know if I have any negatives and positives on this. Well, I'm really not the guy to ask about the negatives and positives because I'm not an indoor whoop racer. So I'm just going to give you the basic negatives and the basic positives. The basic negative is, well, it's an indoor racer and most tiny whoops that are indoor racers have a very short flight time. This one does as well. You know, you have 2 minutes of solid flight. Then between minute 2 and minute 3, you're getting a low battery warning and you want to land at about minute 3. That is if you use a 300 mAh LiPo battery. Certainly if you use a 500, 600, or 800, it's powerful enough to use those batteries. I wouldn't use them for racing, but then you can get a long flight time. So it's up to you what size battery you want to use. But if you use the 300, which is recommended for race spec, well then, yeah, you're looking at 2 to 3 minutes flight time. The other negative, but this is only for me, is I would like to take that forward camera that's almost facing up at 45 degrees and bring it down so it's almost looking forward so you could fly much slower. But there's no real way to adjust it that I can see. Obviously, I could modify it. It's not really being held in place by anything strong. I could squish it down or put some tape, hold it on the bottom, make it face forward if I wanted to, but I wish there was some simpler method that you could just tilt the camera. The positives are, well, it weighs next to nothing. I don't think there's anything lighter on the market than this for race spec. This is really good. Very powerful with those brushless motors. You know, it flies, like I said, on a 300 mAh 1S LiPo battery, and yeah, this thing could lift like an 800, even 1,000 mAh battery if it wanted to. But if you're going to do racing, 300 is what you want, and it goes like stink. And the last positive is, of course, it is a fully race spec little tiny whoop. So it's got the CAC Beta FPV configurator software on it, and you can adjust everything as your heart desires. So with all that said, I'm going to place the link to this little guy below this video. Just click on the link below this video, and it will take you to where this is sold, and no, it's not very expensive. So with all that said, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, but I appreciate it, and I will catch you in a future video with many more cool reviews. Until then, I say bye!